Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Just came up almost 500 steps up here, and I realized I don't have my selfie stick. I wanted to talk about something very important, and I think I'm just going to put this down, and hopefully it would not slip and slide. Talk about a wonderful couple I met from Ukraine about maybe 12 days ago. They rented one of the units that belonged to my friend, and I noticed that they came the next day. They came to visit me. The lady was wearing gym clothes. Basically, it's wearing nothing. Basically, everything is clearly visible. And I mentioned to her that this is a Muslim country, and if you're running here in town, it's better to respect the population and cover up. She said, no, I feel like this is okay. I believe that, yeah, I do respect the population, but I get very hot, and I cannot even wear shorts. I mean, these are like I don't even what you call these things when every part of your body is visible. It seems like I find that they're from Ukraine, and also they are very active in helping their people, finding some kind of medical sources in any way they can help their people. They're not into military or things like that, but they're into helping their people in any way that they can. And I found them really decent people, and they told me, the husband said, I'm an engineer, my wife is an attorney. If there's anything that you need here, let me know, let us know. They're staying in the unit exactly below my unit. And I said, okay, thank you very much. So they did say that they believe in God, and that's for them, that's good enough to be good, to be kind with each other, to other people, and help whoever they can. They feel this is good enough. So then I sent them series of verses, biblical verses, that talked about faith without deeds is not acceptable. A good deed and faith go hand in hand together. And I sent verses from the Quran that said the same thing, mentioning that yes, we have to have faith in God, but many people faith in God, there many people worship many gods. They believe in one God, they worship other gods, they do many things, but their action is not according to what God has commanded. I had mentioned that this is really important. And it seems like, and the next time they send a picture, they were at the Hindu temple, they're visiting, and I said, yeah, go ahead and please ask them how many gods that they worship and where did they origin come from. You will find nobody even knows what they really worship, and whatever they worship, it's something because their forefathers worshiped. I didn't get any answer about that. And they left yesterday, but they're coming back in a few days just to stay a few more days. The amount of kindness I've seen from both of them, literally every day they're coming, doing something for me that I couldn't do. I'm stuck in my house, whether it has technical, whether it's something has to do with my garden or something with electronics. They're fixing, and if they say I'm not sleeping well, they bring me something. They brought me last night milk and turmeric, so you can sleep better. Then a few days ago, my body was itching. They brought me turmeric. They brought me turmeric, and they said make a paste. I mean, all I have to say is something is wrong, and they immediately find something in town to bring to me to help me in a natural healing. So I see so much goodness in them, and it's like I am burning with desire to let them know to please open the heart to Allah's commandments. Because a few days ago they told me that the 10 Commandments, you should worship only one God. And we believe in that. We think this is good enough. We believe in that. And again, I think maybe they need to go back and read the verses that I read to them. There are people that believe only in one God, but their actions are not pleasing to God. For example, how should a woman dress? If her clothing and attire pleasing to God, if it's not, then believing only in one God is meaningless. Who is this God and what has He said to us? What are His commandments? We need to know His commandments. If we don't know His commandments, we just put everything in our own thinking, our own mind. This is what we think is right, this is what we think is not right. You know, the people, humanity has decided what's right and what's wrong over thousands of years. And whatever is right in this century or in this few hundred years or few years, it's not right to the next generation, vice versa. And right now you can see everything that was completely wrong and completely sinful to pretty much all religions, now it seems to be right and legal. And in fact, you cannot say anything against them because you are anti whatever you are. Who do you trust? Who do you believe to? At what point do we say human brain is not advanced enough to know what's good for it all the time? Then we have to rely on a divine instruction. And what is divine instruction? Where do we find this divine instruction? This divine instruction is nowhere other than His scriptures that He has sent by the prophets to the people to guide the people. Unfortunately, these scriptures, some of them have been manipulated with people changed, and what we have today, we cannot say there's any scripture other than the Quran that hasn't been tampered with by human being. So I suggest people like yourself, engineer, attorney, who spend a lot of your life studying to become who you are, and you're still continuously studying ways to help your people, to save your people. Not only that, your people, Ukraine, is in severe need of Allah, severe need of God protection. You're telling me villages have been just bombed to the ground. Man, woman, children are buried under the rubble, and the kind of atrocities that are committed against them. Who do we turn to? Do we turn to our mind and say, okay, we believe in one God, and what is this one God doing? What is His role? How do we find out what are the result of atrocities done against people? So all I'm saying to you is, please turn to Allah's commandments and instructions. Its commandment is not the 10 commandments. If you want to follow the 10 commandments, then you have to keep the Sabbath holy. That's the fourth commandment. The 10 commandments, all of them really apply. I say, except like Sabbath is for the Jews. Some Christians follow Sabbath, and I used to follow that when I was practicing Christianity. But Muslims, Friday is our day. But it's a different, Allah made Sabbath as a test for the Jews, and it holds up until now. Okay, somebody holds the Sabbath, you go to Israel, they're holding the Sabbath, and as soon as Sabbath is finished, they bomb the innocent people, they starve the innocent people, they kill the innocent people. No matter who is the God that they worship. Take a look, who is the God that they worship? Who is the God that worship people in that bombing your country? Which God do they follow? When is it that when the God's commandments are violated, what happens to humanity? So we cannot just say, okay, we worship you, we're good people, and that is good enough. Please, because you are such good people, if you're listening to this video is not only for you, it's also for people, my own family members. Oh yeah, I believe in God, but they turn away from anything else that is prohibited. So this is for everyone who think being good enough in this world, this is good enough. This is not good enough, especially now that we are at a point where we really need God more than any other time. We need to turn to God and ask Him to guide our hearts so that we would want and love to know and find His commandments and follow it. There is no other way than that. And this is the beautiful 7 wells, 500 steps above the ground, and there I go up there to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, remember Him, and make dua for everyone. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.